Now before we begin, I'd like to say that YouTuber slash Twitch streamer Spoonell is hosting the second ever Spoonell Cup on November 12th at 1 PM Eastern Standard Time. This tournament is sponsored by Ninja Kiwi themselves. They are giving away $275 worth of Ninja Kiwi merch to the top 3 winners. You should sign up because, it should be a fun time. Even if you don't win, it's still pretty nice to play against some top players. You might even learn a thing or two. I'm going to be there, and I'm pretty sure all the top Bloons tubers are also going to be there too. I'm also going to be live streaming this on my channel, so go check it out on that day. Alrighty, so we're facing Emperor Kaido, must be One Piece fan, on the map Star. I'm going to be using something different, the FBI strategy, Boat Ice Farm, probably one of the best, kind of name acronyms. The only one would be HIV, Heli Ice Village, but anyways, don't really have much experience kind of using Boat Ice, but Boat Ice Village does pretty well late game. Of course, adding farm just kind of means you lose that late game potential with Village, but you also do gain extra income to kind of defend later. This match will be going late-ish. I do prefer, farm over Village when kind of running Boat Ice, just because, well, FBI is kind of fun to say, as well as the fact that usually on maps like this, you're not really going to be going too late anyways. And of course, farm just kind of helps out with, being aggressive as well as being able to defend rush. I guess if you haven't really seen any gameplay of Boat, Monkey Pirates middle path in general is just kind of bad in my opinion. Monkey Pirates dies incredibly easily to even the smallest of round 13 region rainbow rushes. Even Alk buffed, it's still not all that great. That's kind of why, Boat Alk spec is a strategy that's kind of talked about a lot and you see it, but you don't actually kind of see it used competitively just because it does have a lot of flaws and weaknesses, and a lot of those weaknesses kind of stem from the fact that, middle path Boat just isn't all that great. So I just skip forward to round 12 just because farming strategy is kind of the same, and kind of playing FBI is very kind of similar to how I kind of play DFI, just you just have kind of Boat instead. I guess the kind of advantage of FBI and Star is, well, I guess it's a different strategy to play. And I do believe that you could potentially end up out farming DFI with FBI just due to the fact that you have flavored trades, which does increase sellback of farms. So you could potentially get your Wall Street or Central Market a lot earlier than Dartland Farm Ice players just because you have that ability to increase your selling power even further. As well as the fact that, I do think that ZOMG defense with FBI is a lot easier, simply just because I'm pretty sure Zeely's getting nerfed in the next update. I think with the patch notes when they say they increase the Zeely's XP by 6.9%, I think they mean the amount of experience it takes to increase level. I don't think Ninja Kiwi thinks that Zeely needs buffs, but anyways, I do think the ZOMG's defense a lot easier just because you have Pirate Lord, you can just easily hook that in. All out ZOMG's on the other hand is definitely going to be a bit difficult. I do think that Pat Fussy is going to be a better option with the strategy than Zeely will, just because I think that Pat Fussy provides his Rallying Roar is a much better buff to boats and ice versus Zeely's Totem or just kind of Moab Hex. Again, we'll just kind of wait and see until 1.7 comes out. At the time I am recording this, 1.7 has not been released just yet. So round 20 kind of rolls along. He's got his Monkey Town and everything. Decided to kind of force some defense on his side, to kind of prevent him from getting too much money from using Arctic Wind to kind of stall. Hopefully forcing at least an Embrit, Buckshot, or even just a boost I'd be completely okay with. He does get his Embrittlement kind of at the bottom, so well done on his side. Although I will say, it's round 21 and he still hasn't gotten his Monkey City, so he is going to be a little bit poor come the late game. So it is something he's gonna have to watch out for on himself. Also, almost dying to camos there as I didn't get camo on my boat. Easily takes down the BFB. It's kind of your typical Dartling BFB or even ZOMG defense. Sending his ZOMG on his side to either force him to buy Moab Hex or at least kind of force him to spend a lot of money to kind of break down that ZOMG. I mean. Also, another goal is to hopefully distract him from the fact that have him focus on defending the ZOMG, and have him not focus his attention over towards trying to kind of rush me. And he's still ecoing during this. This is kind of the most surprising thing on my side. I ended up boosting by accident. Hopefully that wouldn't actually come bite me in the butt. Stopped ecoing here, so I kind of assumed that he maybe was trying to go in for something, but I guess not. So I kind of lucked out there. He's doing surprisingly well against the ZOMG. He's already ground it down to its last few stages. Going around 24 Wall Street. Was kind of a bit late for Wall Street in my opinion, but hey, what else can you do? At least I tried. Sent him another ZOMG there just because he did have excess cash to kind of float, and he did have to do a lot in order to defend this, so really trying to force out that Hex buy, or at least have him just kind of do something. Now even if he does buy Moapex, it's still going to be difficult to defend these two ZOMGs just because he's not going to be able to really effectively damage the ZOMG and the fortified ZOMG evenly, so that's definitely going to be a struggle on his. So I was hoping that maybe this would like cause him to choke and maybe miss time Azili's ability, or you would just kind of, I don't know, something would happen. Does end up getting a balloon area denial system. He ends up popping down the first ZOMG, so well done on him. I don't even think he bought level 10. Azili is kind of looking. He got another ice shards down as well, just kind of balloon insides, although that fortified ZOMG is getting a tad bit far. But he does end up using Azili level 10. I guess he ended up did buying it. Well, I guess with the count out me noticing. Got me around 25, not Central Market, Banana Central. Kind of a bit late for kind of Banana Central, but hey, what else can you do? Was kind of a bit risky going for it, seeing as, you know, round 26 was next round, but I was kind of confident that I'd gain enough money in order to be able to afford Impale for the next round. Round 25 is a bit of a long round, and of course Banana Central does generate kind of a ton of money in one round. So if worst comes to worst, it's not the worst thing in the world if I do have to sell it, but of course it's not really completely ideal. So round 26 started, I'm like 9k short of actually being able to afford Impale. I actually did not want to force it on his side, just because I did want to force it on his side, just to see if he did get Icicle Impale up. Still ecoing with pinks. Something I noticed, he never actually ecoed at 0, so he wasn't actually ecoing all that efficiently. So that was kind of a, not really a blunder, but kind of a mistake on his part. As again, you know, he does need to heavily increase his eco by a lot. If I'm guessing, he probably has like maybe 4,500 to 5k eco on his side, just from my experience kind of running this strategy. Now since he's not trying to force out any DT defense, I'm literally just gonna keep on farming and going for my Banana Centrals. Definitely should be trying to force DT defense. As of right now, I would have to kind of sell 2 Banana Centrals in order to afford Impale. But I guess they figure that, you know, since he is an eco player, he doesn't really want to spend too much money on kind of forcing out defense, especially when I could start boat microing, but I'd feel a lot more safe and comfortable just kind of going for the Icicle Impale play. I decided to send some, you know, tight ceramics his way to see if they actually did anything. They didn't, just because, well, Snowstorm OP. Sending a regen ceramics just to see if that causes a regrow farm on his side. Ended up getting 2 balloon area denial systems, so again, he was fine there. So round 30 comes along, knowing that he is definitely pretty poor, I decided to kind of force out a lot of defense in his side. Send him a fortified bad, followed by some regen tight ceramics, followed by a normal bad, followed by just kind of normal tight cerams. I don't think I should have been sending tight cerams, as they definitely weren't doing anything. He was going in on my side, so kind of here I was just like kind of hurrying and kind of placing as much defense as possible, getting my carrier flagship, as well as now just kind of spamming down aircraft carriers. Now to notice that, you know, defense is incredibly expensive when running this strategy. Even selling my Central Market, I still was, not Central Market, but in a Central, I still was, you know, just kind of pretty poor and didn't really have a whole lot of money to be able to defend this. You know, still do have to kind of get better using farms, but since, you know, eco is getting nerfed yet again in this update, I figured probably not worth learning farms. He does send some tight cerams at my weight. They look like fortified tight cerams. They ended up not necessarily doing anything, and the bads on my side are getting absolutely shredded. I think he realized that he didn't have enough money to be able to defend pretty much anything, so he just kind of made a last-ditch effort and just kind of sent, you know, DTs, as well as just kind of selling all of his defense for a bad. Ended up not really doing too much, as was easily able to hold off long enough so the bads on his side could leak. The ZMGs are a bit scary on my side, and with that we did end up beating Emperor Kaido. Hopefully Luffy will end up beating Emperor Kaido one day. Alrighty, so back again against Mamba's Kitten on the map Oasis. Decided to bring out Tank Ice Sniper again, and this time you can actually see Tank Ice Sniper when played semi-properly. Wouldn't really say properly, as it still was kind of a bit bad gameplay on my side. As you can see there, I definitely math way off, and I was kind of off from Churchill. Thankfully, Churchill was able to clean up, I guess, semi-nicely, although he was chasing, so that wasn't really a good thing. It's one of those moments where I would definitely prefer to have normal Churchill over Sentai, but I figured that, you know, Sentai Churchill is better, I guess, for mid-game as well as late-game, as I do think that his level 10 is a lot more useful against ZOMGs than normal Churchill is. This is literally the only reason why I actually bring Sentai Churchill over normal Churchill, as I am kind of still internally debating, well, do I want an easier time early game and be able to greed harder with normal Churchill versus, you know, Sentai and his ability to kind of clear out ZOMGs fairly easily with his level 10 acting as a nuke. Anyways, he's bringing Ocean Open, which is a hero I haven't seen in a while. This is very interesting because he's running Heli Ice, but yet he doesn't have any magic monkeys on his side. So it makes me kind of wonder why he's running Ocean Open, when realistically, if you're running like Heli Ice, if it's usually like Heli Ice Farm, Heli Ice Village, you'd either run, I mean, you could run normal Open instead, or you could just run Gwendolyn. Usually when someone's running Ocean Open, that's usually like a telltale sign they're running Ninja Alk, but definitely if you are running Ocean Open, you want to bring some magic towers. Anyways, I decided to get a sniper for kind of round 5 whites to hopefully maybe have have ice not suck. So that was kind of my thought process there, as I don't think I wasn't really confident that Churchill was going to be able to kind of pick off all of the white balloons. As you can see here, definitely was not the best move kind of going for that, as yellows again are still getting past just because of how fast they are. Getting a second ice tower down, but kind of looking back at the footage, it makes me wonder, well, why didn't I just go for attack shooter? And that's why I said I definitely want a lot more practice kind of on this map. Using turbo damage laser bombs, even upgrading sniper just kind of as much as possible, getting the faster attack speed just so that way white balloons just aren't absolutely destroying my day. Unfortunately, even like an 022 sniper just was not enough to be able to catch all the white balloons. This was kind of a bit surprising and a bit scary, as I was kind of rapidly leaking lives and had no way to really kind of out there. He boosts again, so I even ended up just kind of boosting in retaliation and leaking down all the way to like, what, 38 live. But I do wish I had a better way of just kind of playing this strategy that wasn't so not great. Sending black balloons, which is definitely going to hurt against, you know, Churchill a lot, as I don't think Sentai Churchill's level 3 allows him to pop black balloons. I think that's only for kind of normal Churchill. Now even still, black balloons are still absolutely wrecking my day, and I'm still not doing too well against them. So I get, you know, 230 blade shooter, just hopefully be able to stem the bleeding just kind of a bit more. With all the space Deco is sending, that's kind of a good thing for me, as he's poor, basically. You won't really have too much money, as he missed out on round 7 yellows, as well as, you know, opting to just send constant white balloons instead of constant, you know, green balloons on round 5. So this basically, even though I am like, you know, massively down on lives with no way of regenning them, and again, Heli Ice is definitely not the ideal kind of place to be in, at least the one advantage I do have is I have more money than he does. But this can be nullified by the fact that he's running Heli, which is a much more efficient form of alt eco than Sniper is. If you didn't know, Heli is currently the most efficient form of alt eco, and it will be the most efficient form of alt eco even going into 1.7, as they didn't touch Heli or any other alt eco sources at all. Now, as you can see here, I'm definitely on much better pace than I kind of was running, you know, Attack Ice Sniper. Other times, you know, round 17, having a supply drop, that is a very good spot. I kind of want to be at that. I do think you could definitely get it earlier if you were like me and didn't leak down to 31 late game. So you could probably get it by like 16, depending on, you know, how efficiently you're kind of ecoing for the early game. You know, he's got his support Chinook up, so, you know, regenerating lives, doing whatever. So basically it was on me just to kind of end this match by, you know, round 40, because if not, he's just going to have GG around 40. And I do think that, you know, Heli Ice, I think, outlasts Attack Ice late game, just because he has Village, I don't, so that's definitely a huge kind of blunder there. Now, weirdly enough, even though it's round 20, he chooses to continue sending pink balloons. Usually I kind of stop ecoing after round 20 just because pinks are way too inefficient to really kind of be sending at all. So I don't really think it's worth it. It's just better off to go full in on your alt eco source kind of after round 20. I guess you could maybe send, well, you shouldn't send, you know, group blacks, group whites, simply just because in 1.7 I think those are also getting changed as well, so they're not really I mean, they're not bad, but they're not really all that great either. Getting a round 21 elite sniper again, that's also pretty good. And in round 22, three supply drops and all that. That is absolutely amazing. Elite sniper, apparently, people did the math. Apparently, elite sniper is effective to like 750 eco. So I mean, right there, that already puts me close to 3k eco. And you know, I think supply drops are worth like, it's either like 350 eco or 250 eco. So they are, I guess, kind of not bad. And so you can generate kind of a lot of money just looking at the snowball effect on my side versus his side. He only has 2 Chinooks on round 24 versus, you know, having a couple of supply drops on my side. Alright, so fast forwarding to round 29, the snowball effect, you know, came in a lot. As you can see, you know, tons of supply drop snipers kind of on the screen. So that's why you definitely should, you know, just kind of go all in for your ult eco source, you know, just kind of after round 20, just because pinks are incredibly inefficient to send and not really worth it. Sending a bad as well as, you know, some regen ceramics under his side, just to hopefully see if he maybe creates a Rego farm with all the Chinooks he has. Doesn't seem like that's ends up not being the case, so I guess on his side. But as you can see here, he is incredibly poor. He had to sell all of his Chinooks just to be able to afford Apache Prime. And even then, Apache Prime by himself is not all that great. He's gonna need, you know, Super Brittle on top of that in order to actually kind of make Apache Prime really good. But as you can see here, he, curiously enough, doesn't actually go for kind of village until incredibly late. He's getting up his MIB right now, but even if he does kind of get a MIB, Homeland is incredibly expensive, and it doesn't seem like he can afford it at this point. He dropped Marine, which he kind of dropped Marine kind of far back, so this is kind of an oopsie on him. He started selling, so I assumed that he was going to start all-outing DTs just because, you know, that first bad, you know, was getting pretty far. He is going to pop it, but it's going to be incredibly late, and he has a second fortified bad that he has to pop himself. So I just kind of sold all of my supply drops just to get down defense, just in case he decides to retaliate. As well as having, you know, 15k left over just in case, you know, he defends this by some miracle. As you can see, he has a second bad on his screen that is completely unfazed at all. Definitely not good for him. He sends fortified DTs my way. It just kind of end up boosting just to hopefully help out against the DTs just kind of a little bit. Decided to get more May mobs just in case he sends even more, as I'm going to need all the stalling I can get just so that way the second bad can exit. It does send a wee bit more, but it's only 3 fortified, so it doesn't actually really do too much. So it's a bit fortunate on my side. But GG Mambus Kitten, that was a good game. If you enjoyed the video, you know, like, comment, subscribe, or join Discord. Link is down below in the description.